Look around. We live in a time where men are weaker, softer, and more lost than ever before in human history. The warrior who once built civilizations has been replaced by the man who can't put down his phone. The protector who once stood at the gates is now addicted to instant gratification. The builder of empires has become a slave to comfort. And the shocking truth? This wasn't an accident. Masculinity didn't just fade away. It was killed. Killed by comfort. Killed by consumerism. Killed by a society that tells men, don't be strong, don't be bold, don't be masculine. This is the story of how masculinity is dying in our modern world and how you can bring it back to life. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you may offend you, but it might also save you. History repeats itself. Civilizations rise, not because of governments, not because of wealth, but because of strong men, and civilizations collapse when weak men take their place. Think of Rome. For centuries, Roman men were disciplined, ruthless, and unbreakable. They built aqueducts, roads, armies, and empires. But Rome didn't fall to outside enemies. It rotted from within. Men became soft, lazy, obsessed with pleasure. Gladiators entertained them, food and wine numbed them, and soon the empire collapsed. The same pattern appeared in Greece, Persia, Mesopotamia. Hard men built civilizations. Soft men enjoyed them. Weak men destroyed them. And now, we're living in the same cycle. Look around. Do you see warriors, builders, leaders, or do you see men who can't even control themselves, much less lead a family or a nation? Weak men have always been the beginning of the end. In the past, survival required strength. If you wanted to eat, you hunted. If you wanted safety, you fought. If you wanted a family, you provided. Now, everything comes to you without effort. Food is delivered, entertainment is streamed, sex can be simulated on a screen. And here's the dark truth. Society has engineered comfort to keep you weak. The world doesn't want strong men anymore. It wants compliant men. Men who obey, men who consume, men who never rise against the system. Comfort is the new prison. You're not chained by metal, you're chained by dopamine. Masculinity is under attack, not just physically but psychologically. For decades, men have been told, don't be aggressive, don't compete, don't lead. Instead, they've been taught to sit down, be quiet, and suppress every masculine instinct. This isn't progress, it's emasculation. Weak men are praised for being passive, agreeable, and silent. Strong men are shamed for being bold, assertive, or dominant. But here's the paradox. The same society that tells men to soften still secretly craves strong men. Women still respect strength. Companies still want strong leaders. Nations still depend on warriors. Weakness may be fashionable, but strength will always be necessary. Most men today feel invisible. They work jobs they hate. They scroll endlessly. They play roles in a system that doesn't value them. Ask yourself, when was the last time you felt respected? Not for your money, not for your looks, but for your strength of character. For many men, the answer is never. Why? Because weakness makes you invisible. A man without strength, purpose, or conviction blends into the background. Nobody follows him. Nobody respects him. Nobody remembers him. The brutal truth is this. Society doesn't see weak men. It uses them, drains them, and forgets them. And unless you rise above it, you will remain invisible too. The greatest enemy of modern masculinity isn't war, it's consumption. Men have been transformed from warriors into consumers. You're told your worth comes from what you buy, not what you build. Advertising sells you the illusion of strength while keeping you weak. Buy this car, buy this cologne, buy this drink, and you'll be respected. But no product will ever replace true masculine power. And so, men fall into the trap of pleasure. Junk food, endless streaming, alcohol, drugs, and addictions that keep them numb. Consumerism feeds your body but starves your soul. Masculinity has never faced an enemy this powerful. The screen. Every second of your attention is stolen by social media, porn, and entertainment. Social media convinces men they're not enough. Porn convinces men they don't need real intimacy. Video games convince men they're warriors. without ever stepping outside. These digital traps are engineered to keep you weak. Why build a legacy when you can scroll for dopamine? Why earn respect when you can simulate it with likes and comments? Why build a family when pixels can trick your brain into pleasure? Strong men use technology as a tool. Weak men let technology use them. The masculine trait that separates men from boys is discipline. Discipline is the ability to suffer today for a reward tomorrow. But society has declared war on discipline. Everything is instant delivery, instant communication, instant gratification. Weak men cannot wait. They cannot sacrifice. They want results now, comfort now, pleasure now. But the truth is this: nothing strong is built instantly. Muscles, businesses, empires, and legacies, they all require discipline and time. If you can't delay gratification, you will remain a slave to your impulses. For decades, media has mocked and minimized masculinity. Strong men are portrayed as toxic, aggressive, or outdated. Weak, passive men are painted as modern and safe. This narrative destroys young men before they even become men. They grow up ashamed of their instincts, to lead, to fight, to protect. They're told to sit down, be quiet, and stop being masculine. But the truth is, society needs strong men. Without masculine leadership, families collapse. Without masculine protection, societies fall. Without masculine vision, the future dies. Feminized culture doesn't just weaken men, it weakens civilization. Weak men live for approval. They say what others want to hear. They bend their values to fit in. They would rather be liked than respected. But here's the paradox. The more you chase approval, the less respect you receive. Respect is not given to the man who pleases everyone. It's given to the man who stands for something. A strong man doesn't chase approval. He earns respect through action, integrity, and conviction. Weak men are emotionally fragile. They collapse under stress. They panic under pressure. They cry for help at the first sign of difficulty. Instead of taking responsibility, they embrace victimhood. It's not my fault. The system is against me. Life isn't fair. But here's the truth. Life has never been fair. The strong adapt. The weak complain. Every second spent in victimhood is a second wasted in weakness. The final prison of weak men is fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of failure. Fear of standing out. Fear keeps men silent when they should speak. Fear keeps them passive when they should act. Fear convinces them to live small, safe lives, never realizing their full potential. But fear is an illusion. Every man you admire has felt fear. What makes him strong is that he acted anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's action in spite of it. Weak men let fear control their lives. Strong men use fear as fuel. So far, we've exposed the decline of men, the enemies of masculinity, and the weak man's mindset. But this is only the beginning, because once you see the truth about weakness, you must decide, will you stay weak or will you rise? The next step is transformation. Throughout history, men were not defined by comfort. They were defined by struggle. The warrior archetype was the standard. A man was measured not by what he consumed, but by what he could endure. The hunter who risked his life against beasts. The soldier who defended his tribe with steel and blood. The builder who raised cities from stone. The warrior was not always holding a sword. Sometimes his weapon was the plow, the hammer, the quill. But the spirit was the same. Strength, resilience, and sacrifice. This archetype has been buried under modern softness, but it still lives inside you. The Romans understood something modern men have forgotten. Discipline is destiny. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, the Stoic philosophers, taught men to master their emotions, endure pain, and rise above weakness. Rome didn't become an empire because of technology. It became an empire because Roman men embraced duty. A Roman soldier could march for miles with iron on his back and no complaint. A Roman statesman could govern with calm amidst chaos. Discipline was sacred. Self-control was power. Today, men lose their minds over a delayed text message or an internet outage. Compare that fragility with the Roman standard, and you'll understand why masculinity is dying. History gave us examples of what true masculinity looks like. The samurai of Japan lived and died by Bushido, the way of the warrior. Honor meant more than life itself.